Hey guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Couples Retreat Season 2, Episode 1 called Dig a Little Deeper. And with all six of these couples, AJ says they need to dig a little deeper. I just think y'all need to talk it out. For most of them. Some of them is like they might really be here to dig a little deeper, so to speak, but some of these I feel like are facade couples and they just came on here to do a TV show. But I digress. Nonetheless, okay, we got six couples. Michael Blackston and Rada are back here for another season of Couples Retreat. They are now the host. Last season it was Yandy Mendices or Ray J and Princess. One of those two. I think it was Yandy Mendices from what Michael said. So now him and Rada are going to be hosting. Why are they hosting? I don't know, because they still having the same issues from last retreat. So I don't think last retreat really helped them much, but they back here, to do it again. So yeah, Michael and Rada, we got Ronnie DeVoe and his wife Shamari. We have Nick Young and Kiana. I seen Nick and I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? Why are you here? Same thing for Ronnie. Like, what you here for? But I guess it's to get away from the kids and rebuild their intimacy. And okay, but y'all, you guys could have done your own little couples. You didn't need to come here. Don't do this. Y'all too good for VH1. Nick, I'm not gonna say you too good for VH1, but at the same time, what you doing here? We got Styles P and Adjua. I think that's how you say her name. Look, listen, Nick Young and Styles P, thank you for getting some beautiful chocolate females. Thank you for that. Kiana's beautiful. Adjua's beautiful. Okay, we move on. We got Claudia Jordan and KJ. So, Claudia, where you pick him up from? Because this, to me, KJ don't even seem like he's her type, in my personal opinion. But, okay. Claudia, this is what you go, okay. All right. And then finally we have Just Hilarious and Daniel. He did look familiar to me, and I was just like, where do I know him from? Like, why does he look familiar? But then that's when, later on, that's when they're like, oh, Babyface. There it is. So Michael and Rada want to let us know that they're engaged, even though she's not wearing her ring currently this first night at the couples retreat, which we will get into later. Rada says Michael's getting better. Yeah, he's doing better with their arrangement that they have going on. They're still working through some things before they, walk down the aisle. But Rada, lets us know she don't want to get another divorce. So that's why they're going to work through some things before they get married. And I'm just trying to figure out why they're even still together, because obviously Rada wants one thing, Michael wants the other. But I guess we're just going to have to figure out or see how it all unfolds in this season. So we move on to Ronnie and Shamari. They just want time away from their kids. We get to Style P and Adjua. He got her flowers. It was cute, but the whole scene seemed a little facade to me. She's like, oh my gosh, you got me flowers? We watch too much reality TV shows for us to be like, oh, this is genuine. No, girl, act your ass off for the cameras. That's fine, but it's a facade. We get to Nick. He trying to get baby number 4 out of Kiana, but Kiana just generally wants to work on the relationship because they got issues that they need to focus on. But it seems like he ready just to get another baby, but at least it's with one female and not multiple, like some people I know that I'm going to actually see on Sunday. Anyway, we move on to Claudia. She wants more of a relationship with KJ, like a plan for marriage and kids, but he's not saying none of that. And that's probably because he don't want to be in a relationship with you, Claudia. He's probably just here for the check. You probably just hit him up like, hey, you want to make some money? You want to be my boyfriend on social media a little bit, so then I could bring you on the show so we can get this paper together. Because I don't believe this relationship, the way he acting, the way she acting. But she wants to give so much advice on other people's relationship. Okay, we move on to Daniel and Jess. Excuse me. He's looking uncomfortable in front of the camera. He's looking a little scared, a little nervous. Jess, this is nothing new to her. She's used to the cameras. So for Jess and Daniel, she just wants Daniel to make more time for her and to show some more affection. She's calling him a regular, degular, schmegular guy. And, she out here a celebrity. So if she can make time for him, he can make time for her because she calls him a full time dad, but yet his son is 17 years old. So, like, is he a senior in high school? Is he about to graduate? How, like, you're a full time dad? I get that, but he's 17. It's not like he's 7. Like, he probably has his own car, probably got his own girlfriend, his own life, you know. Probably about to move into the dorm at whatever college he's going to, if he's going to college, I don't know. But he's practically a grown ass man. So I don't know what he does as a job, but clearly he can't make no time for just hilarious. And even though he's a regular schmegler, even though I don't know what that's supposed to mean, Jess, because regular people can be busy too. But she a celebrity, so it's different. She got way more stuff to do than he do. But he looked like of a guy of a certain age, so he might be well into his career. Okay, but I guess we're gonna have to figure that out more as we watch. This is only that first episode. So everyone meets up by the water to chit chat, to meet everybody and talk about what they got going on. So Rada and Michael lets them know they have a dinner that's they setting up for the night. So this is where we go into, since everybody's meeting each other, Michael calls Daniel the Dollar Tree version of Babyface. Michael always gonna have to come through with some jokes, and now that we got Jess here, she's gonna come through with some jokes too, so that's fine. Anything to make me laugh a little bit, to get me through this hour of watching this show, I'm cool with that. So we move on to everybody getting ready for the dinner for that night. Claudia and KJ are, getting their clothes, hair, makeup done, getting ready for the dinner. Claudia's hinting at KJ, for marriage, getting married. Producers pull one day with KJ in a confessional. They're like, so, do you want to get married to Claudia? You hear the sound of the clock? That's literally what we heard in that confessional with KJ. Crickets. Or in this case, the sound of a clock ticking. Because he does not give an answer. He's like, well, just a simple no would have been fine, KJ, but we really see for the relationship for what it is. So you just ride in the train to get the check. Claudia trying to get a check too. Okay, we see it for what it is. So the couples, they get to the dinner and they converse. Jess asks Rada why she's not wearing her engagement ring. So, they have to go to commercial for dramatic effect. So then we get back from commercial for dramatic effect, and Rada just lets us know that she's mad at Michael because he was effing some hoe in Tampa, Florida. And the next morning, he took her out to breakfast out in the Publix. So she don't like that he taking his side pieces out in Publix for everybody to see. No, what you do, like she gives him, because I was about to talk like her, she gives him one side, what is it called? One freebie a month. She don't want to call them side chicks, even though Jess is like, they're side chicks. But, you can do what you want with them behind closed doors in the bedroom, but why you gotta take them out for breakfast the next morning? Why you gotta be out in public with them knowing that you're engaged to me? So she upset about that, so I guess that's why she's not wearing her ring. And I'm just like, why are we still having this? Why is it still the same issues as you had last season? If you're still having these issues, maybe you shouldn't be together. I don't know. Maybe you should. You want one thing, he wants another thing. You can't. You got into the situation knowing what it was, Rada. I don't understand why you think. I'm not going to be doing this again this season. Last year I said everything I had to say. This season, Rada, you just out here looking stupid. You did it to yourself. You played yourself. You played yourself. So Ronnie tries to empathize with them, saying him and Shamari, they had the same issues going on, but Shamari got too attached to the female, so it had to make them reset themselves. So I guess he was getting a little upset because it's still kind of like an open wound that was kind of closed off, but can easily be reopened. So then that's when we get to Jess asking Daniel, so would you ever do a threesome with me? Daniel goes into explaining, oh, well, I had numerous combinations of women, so that ain't nothing new to me. Everybody looking at him like, what? Because first he wasn't trying to answer, but then they was like, no, you just got to be honest. So then I guess his honesty was to say, I done do what I do. I have combinations of women. All right, Claudia want to say something like, that was not the right thing to say, Daniel. And listen, what did she say? Hold on. She said, how you can't have a lot of side chicks. Michael's rich. Yes, Claudia, I can agree with you there, but you'd be surprised. Some females they just jump on guys just to jump on them. They don't necessarily have to have money for a girl to have sex and do threesomes with a guy. Maybe they just want to live out a fantasy of their own. Like, you'd be surprised. People on these streets, man, like, sometimes money don't motivate them. Sometimes they just do it because they just want to do it. So, like I said, Claudia, you'll be surprised, but Claudia says to... Oh, no, she said that later. Listen, Claudia got a lot to say about everybody's relationship, but Michael calls Rada controlling, and I think Claudio's the one that asked him, so how are you guys going to deal with this when you guys get married? Just like, girl, they ain't getting married. They is not getting married. And Jess is asking a very valid question. How y'all supposed to be the host, but y'all dealing with this BS? Just I be wondering the same thing. I be questioning the same thing. I questioned the same thing from the beginning of the episode, to be honest. So, anywho, AJ Johnson. AJ Johnson, and we got John Sally, I think that's how you say the last name, show up. So they're gonna be the mentors, I guess, for this season. And John wants to let us know that he was friend zoned by AJ in 1984. Because, he was trying to holler, but she wasn't trying to have no time for homeboys. So she done friend zoned the guy. So, he probably still got a little feeling. If AJ were to be like, all right, why don't we give it a try? I'm sure John would be like, when, where, what time? So they, how they do. They immediately get to the first exercise, which I guess they're going to show some pictures of what the couples post on social media. And I guess to see maybe the backstory or to see if it displays, so to speak, their affection with each other or their relationship, how it is, like how they portray themselves on social media versus how they really are in real life, I suppose. So we first start off with Michael and Rada, of course. And I guess Rada was looking off into the sunset, sunrise, whatever. I want to see. Michael was looking scared behind her. He tries to make jokes about it, like, oh, he was trying to do Titanic, the Jack and Rose situation. But Rada's still upset about him bringing another girl out to brunch. For all we know, he could have brought her to friggin', I don't know. I don't know what date it was. Rada, girl, he could have just brought her to Kiki's real quick. Like, you act like he bringing her to, like, City Cellars. Girl, you're not new to this, Rada, okay? He probably started that with you. That's probably why you're so mad. Because I think she started off as a side piece, if I'm correct. If I'm not mistaken. I think she started off as a side piece, so you just mad that someone might take your place. But at the same time, how you get them is how you lose them type of thing, Rada. Like, I explained this last season. I don't understand why she's still upset. Like, you signed a contract. You legit signed a contract. Anyway, I just said here we go again in the notes because here we go again. We move on with other couples. Ain't nothing else to say really about them. they just want intimacy. They're here to gain more intimacy in their relationship. Then we get on to Nick and Kiana. Nick calls the picture fake. He says the affection is real, but it's like a staged photo shoot type of thing. So he doesn't really have nothing to say, but Kiana let us know, and she gets a little emotional that the picture can say one thing and it could show one type of emotion, but you could be feeling a whole different type of emotion behind closed doors behind that photo. And that's very true. So clearly we see that Kiana, like I said, she generally is here to just try to work her relationship, fix her relationship with Nick Young over there. And Nick was like, oh, I didn't know she was feeling like this. Sometimes it's good to ask. It's one thing, I understand you could just be like, hey, are you good? People say yes all the time, but that doesn't mean necessarily like we good. It just means like, yes, for what it is, yeah. But that doesn't mean I may be happy. So it looks like she got a lot to unpack for these next, I don't know how many episodes this season is, but she got quite a few things to unpack and let off her chest to Mr. Nick Young. So that's it with them. Everybody does their little video diary for the night of how their first night went here at the couples retreat. And then, of course, Michael and Jess, they have a comedy show they have to do. So they're getting packed to go to their comedy show for the night. We're going to start off with Michael because that's what they show in the chronological events for the episode. So him and Rada, they get back to their room. Obviously, he's packing for his comedy show. Him and Rada arguing, going back and forth about the whole side piece, side chick, freebie situation. Rada talking about, Rada want to get bugged, talking about, I'm going to give you an ultimatum. Just hit it and quit it. Now, while that is a reasonable ultimatum, Rada, freebie nonetheless is a hella reasonable ultimatum. This hit and quit it thing, that's nice. That's nice and everything, Rada, for you to try to give him. But this is Michael we're talking about. How long you been with a guy? How long you been doing this? You were the side piece when y'all first met. So this whole, you just ultimatum and hit it and quit it. Didn't you give him ultimatums before? That you was going to leave if he didn't stop all this side piece stuff. And then at the end, you folded and said, okay, at least once a month. That's not at least, at the most once a month. So now you want to give him another ultimatum that you're probably going to have to fold for. Previews for next week says when he come back, you ain't going to be there. You're going to be nowhere to be found. But we're going to still see more of you in this season. So you didn't really leave. So I don't know what you thought you were doing with this ultimatum, Rada, because you still gonna stay regardless. Because you said so many times you're gonna leave, but yet here you are, still with Michael, engaged. But you give him okay. Yeah. So Michael just like, listen, I gotta go to this comedy show with Jess, so we'll talk about this later type of thing. She's like, yeah, of course. Well, that's what's getting you your interesting outfits, Rada. Him making that money. She probably make money too. I'm not saying she don't, but she be acting like she body out in these streets, like a real housewife out in these streets, and it's giving no. And lastly, we get to Jess. Jess hilarious, talking with Daniel. She's upset with Daniel for what he said at the dinner, talking about he got combinations of females all out in these streets in Baltimore, wherever the case may be. And he explains that he said it the wrong way, but he was really trying to tell her that he's already been there, done that, so he don't need to have another girl have a threesome with Jess. Like, all he needs is her. So I thought it was going to get okay to where she's like, okay, love you, see you when I get back. But then it turns into an argument about marriage, because I guess he doesn't see the need to get married just because the female wants to get married, which I can understand kind of what he's saying. But then when he goes into the I'm not trying to make you happy. I don't live to make you happy. I want to marry someone if it's because I want to do it, not because you want that, not to make you happy. Because she asked, "What about making your significant other happy?" And he kind of downplayed it, like, "Nah, I'm fucking making you happy. It's about what I want." Now, once again, I can get what he's trying to say. His execution to me is just not the best. Because it's like, no, if you really love a person, you wouldn't want to make them happy. If you really love a person, I personally feel like you would do everything you can to make sure you see a smile on their face. However, when it comes to marriage, yes, do not propose or get married to someone just because you feel like they would want it and you don't want it yourself. Obviously, if you did it, they would be happy, but you would do it because you want to do it as well. Like he said, like, I can't imagine living my life without you. So I get what he's saying. However, certain things he said, I'm just like, I wouldn't have necessarily said that, because what you doing if you're not trying to be with someone that you generally want to make them happy? So I guess Jess seen it the wrong way, heard it the wrong way, or whatever. She got a little bit upset, and she just like, listen, I gotta go. And she gets up and leaves. And that was the end of the first episode. Claudia talking about whatchamacallit, Daniel not showing affection to Jess is a red flag. You're one to talk, Claudia, because your man KJ is showing you no affection either. He can't even tell producers if he want to marry you or not. And you having to hint at marriage. How long y'all been together again? If you have to question if he gonna marry you, okay. But Daniel's a red flag. And then you want to say something about Michael and Rada too. Like you don't got no issues going on in your relationship. Ain't that why you here, Claudia? I don't know. But this season probably will be interesting. I feel like this season will be a little bit more interesting than last season. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. But these people are gonna be a fool. These people are gonna be a fool. Michael and Rada, y'all need to just call it quits right now. Jess and Daniel, facade. Claudia and KJ, facade. Ronnie and Shamari, hey, just have fun on your vacation away from the kids. Nick Young and Kiana, please get all the help you need, because if y'all gonna make this work, y'all really, from what it seemed like Kiana feeling, need to get this situated. Okay. Styles P and Adjoa, I can't really question mark. Okay. They seem cool, I guess. We didn't really see much of them, so I mean, they seem cool. But happy that said, there's nothing else to say about episode 1. The first few episodes are always kind of like, but then it gets into the good part. I don't know. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please also subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on all the couples? See you guys next week. Bye.